NATO will do what is necessary to protect and defend all allies. The nuclear rhetoric and also the statement that they have put their nuclear forces on the highest alert is irresponsible, reckless by Russia. We will do what is needed to protect all allies, but we will not further escalate the tensions. So therefore we have maintained the same alert level of our nuclear forces.
Prezydencie!
Russia has actually agreed several times to different agreements and statements saying that nuclear war will never be won and should not be fought, and therefore we will not do anything that can further escalate the situation. We will have a defensive presence in the eastern part of the alliance because we strongly believe that credible deterrence is the best way to preserve peace, prevent the conflict, and that's exactly what we are doing now with the increased presence of defensive forces in the eastern part of the alliance. So our military commanders have assured us that they are able to maintain deconfliction with Russia. Everything has to be done to prevent this conflict from escalating beyond Ukraine. We provide support to Ukraine, but at the same time it is a responsibility for NATO to ensure that we don't see a development where a conflict in Ukraine spirals out of control and becomes a full-fledged confrontation between NATO and Russia in Europe. So deconfliction to prevent incidents and accidents, and especially that they don't spiral out of control, is important for NATO, and therefore our commanders are in contact with Russia to prevent that from happening. Every nation has the right to choose its own path, to choose whether it wants to belong to an alliance as NATO or not. And that is, of course, for each individual nation to decide, and then for the 30 allies to decide whether a nation is meeting the NATO standards and can be allowed into NATO. So these are core values. We are not compromising on these core values, but we are ready, and we have made it clear. We made it clear for weeks and months before the Russian invasion that we were ready to sit down and to discuss and address a wide range of issues: arms control, transparency, risk reduction, to find a political solution. Russia must stop the invasion of Ukraine, cease all attacks and withdraw all its forces. This is a horrendous, horrific invasion of an innocent country, and we see that civilians are killed. It's a brutality that has to stop them immediately.
Bardzo proszę o zabranie głosu prezydenta Andrzeja Dudę.
NATO stands in solidarity with Ukraine. We have imposed, NATO allies have imposed severe costs on Russia for its totally unjustified and reckless invasion of Ukraine. And we will hold both Russia and Belarus accountable for what they are doing.
Okay?
Hey, you can go.
You can go.
Okay? Smell your nose?